Have you ever felt the electric jolt of a strategic gamble? A move so calculated it could redefine a team's future? Or perhaps the quiet sigh of relief as a difficult chapter finally closes? Today, the hockey world is buzzing with exactly that kind of energy as the Utah Mammoth and Toronto Maple Leafs pulled off a trade that, on the surface, might seem understated. But beneath the surface, it speaks volumes about the shifting sands of NHL strategy. In a move that sent ripples through the league, the Utah Mammoth announced they've shipped disgruntled forward Matias Maccelli to the Toronto Maple Leafs. What did they get in return? A 2027 conditional third-round draft pick. A pick, ironically, that originally belonged to Toronto. This isn't just any pick. It transforms into a second-rounder in 2029 if Maxelli hits at least 51 points next season and the Maple Leafs make the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs. It's a classic prove-it deal, but for Maxelli, it's far more than just a conditional pick. It's a lifeline. Maxelli's journey in Utah had become a turbulent one. Just a year ago, he was a breakout sensation, dazzling fans with a career-high 57 points in the 2023 to 2024 season. But this past year, a stark contrast. He managed a mere 18 points, finding himself a healthy scratch multiple times, appearing in just 55 games. The writing was on the wall, etched in the frustration of a player who knew he could contribute more. His trade request midseason was no secret, and the final stretch of the year saw his relationship with the coaching staff sour, culminating in him playing in only 3 of the final 20 games. Now, in Toronto, Maxelli gets a fresh canvas, a chance to fight for a coveted spot in the Maple Leafs' top 6, to rekindle that offensive spark that once made him so dangerous. He's in the final year of a 3-year deal with a cap hit of $3.425 million. And with this trade, the Maple Leafs secure his restricted free agent signing rights in 2026. For Toronto, this is a low-risk, potentially high-reward play, adding a skill forward with something to prove, while Utah gains crucial cap room. But what does Utah truly lose in this exchange? After acquiring the dynamic J.J. Peterka, the Mammoth have certainly bolstered their top 6. However, moving Maxelli undeniably leaves a void in their bottom 6. While he yearned for a larger role, Maxelli could have been that crucial secondary scorer on the third line, perhaps even a key piece on the second power play unit. Now, the Mammoth must scramble to fill that gap, either by promoting from within their system or, more likely, by diving headfirst into the chaotic waters of free agency. Whispers from the league suggest Utah is aggressively searching for offense as the free agency period kicks off tomorrow. And speaking of free agency, the Toronto Maple Leafs are poised to make some serious noise. Just days ago, they pulled off a masterstroke, re-signing star center John Tavares to an incredibly team-friendly 4-year, $17.52 million deal. This move, coupled with the recent 6-year, $46.5 million extension for winger Matthew Knies, has given the Leafs enormous cap flexibility. This newfound financial freedom is particularly vital given the swirling rumors around Mitch Marner, with potential sign-in trade with the Vegas Golden Knights appearing to be the most likely outcome. So, with cap space to burn and a clear vision, which top free agent should the Leafs aggressively pursue to take this team to the next level? First on the list, Nikolai Ehlers, often overshadowed by the likes of Ski-Field, Wheeler, Lane, and Connor in Winnipeg. Ehlers has been an underrated contributor for years, with the ability to consistently average close to 25 goals and 60 points. His numbers could explode with the right line mates. This past season, he put up 24 goals and 39 assists for 63 points in just 69 games, even tying for the team lead in playoff goals despite playing fewer games. At 29, entering his prime, Ehlers is one of the top point getters in what's considered an underwhelming free agent class. He could seamlessly slide into the top 6, potentially filling a significant portion of the void left by a Marner departure. Next up, Brock Boeser. Similar to Ehlers, Boeser has often played in the shadows of Pettersson, Horvat, and Miller in Vancouver. Yet, he's only 1 year removed from a phenomenal 2023 to 24 season where he notched 40 goals and 73 points in 81 games, and was a force in the playoffs with 7 goals and 12 points in as many games. With goal scoring at a premium in this free agent class, Boeser, at just 28, becomes an incredibly attractive option. He has plenty of prime years ahead, making him a solid long-term piece for the Leafs Stanley Cup puzzle. Finally, a true game change on the back end, Aaron Ekblad. It's not every day you see a top-pairing defenseman available in free agency, but this season, the stars have aligned. Ekblad, a two-time Stanley Cup champion, knows what it takes to win when it matters most, with the ability to consistently hit double-digit goals and average close to 40 points. He would significantly upgrade the Leafs' offense from the blue line without sacrificing defensive integrity, coming off his most productive playoffs for goals, 13 points in 19 games. Ekblad, even in his early 30s, is expected to remain a solid contributor. This move would be a double win for Toronto, adding an elite defenseman in his prime, while simultaneously weakening their greatest rival, the Florida Panthers, by snatching him away. But not every big name is the right fit. While the free agent market is flush with talent, there are some players the Leafs should steer clear of if they want to ensure sustained success. First, Patrick Kane. Without question, Kane's resume is legendary. Calder, Art Ross, Hart Conn Smythe, 3 Stanley Cups. He's practically done it all. But the bulk of those accomplishments came earlier in his career, heading into his age 37 season. Kane is a shadow of his former self, having not topped 60 points since 2021-22 and missing playoff action in 6 of his last 8 seasons. For a Leafs team desperate for proven playoff performers who play a tough, gritty style, signing a declining superstar like Kane would be a costly misstep. Then there's Brent Burns. For much of his illustrious career, Burns was a bona fide number 1 defenseman, a dominating force. The former Norris Trophy winner has 3 20-goal seasons and 7 50-point seasons, a primary power play general. However, Father Time caught up to Burns this past season. His 6 goals and 29 points were his lowest totals in a non-shortened season in over a decade. Defensively, he's lost a step, recording a career-low 11 hits and a staggering 104 giveaways. The Leafs need reliability, toughness, and offensive potential from their blue line. Despite his star pedigree, Burns simply doesn't fit their current needs. Finally, Brad Marchand. There's no questioning Marchand's drive, heart, or determination. Hockey and winning are in his DNA, and he's fresh off a Stanley Cup win with the Florida Panthers, posting 20 points in 23 playoff games. He's exactly the kind of postseason performer the Leafs desperately need. However, Marchand is already 37, and his stats have been in decline, dropping from a point-per-game player in 2021-22 to just 0.72 ppg this past year. Projections suggest he'll command a massive 3- or 4-year contract, potentially upwards of $8 million, lasting until he's 40. While the allure of Marchand is undeniable, blowing the bulk of their resources on a player whose production could suddenly fall off a cliff in a multi-year deal isn't the wisest move for a team looking to address the potential loss of Marner and strengthen its bottom 6. The Matias Maccelli trade, while seemingly minor, is a fascinating piece in the larger puzzle of the NHL offseason. For Toronto, it's a low-risk bet on a young player's resurgence, made possible by shrewd cap management. For Utah, it's a necessary shedding of a difficult situation, opening doors for new acquisitions. As free agency looms, the Maple Leafs are clearly operating with a precise strategy. Target players who fit their evolving system, who are in their prime on the cusp of it, and who can genuinely elevate the team's performance, all while wisely avoiding the tempting but ultimately risky allure of past their prime legends. This isn't just about adding names. It's about building a championship contender, piece by calculated piece. What do you think of Toronto's strategy? Are they making the right moves, or are they play with fire? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown insightful, hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth analysis.